Another shit league with a little twist this week. Fortunately, solemn news to start off the stream, as one of our managers didn't make it through the week. Unfortunately, Mr. Chris Thacker has been axed with the same brutal horror show action that Sir Keir Starmer showed to his shadow transport minister this afternoon. And et tu, Brute, Arsene Wenger, the Arsenal legend, the man that Chris Thacker chose himself to be the chairman of Gonna Be Good FC, was the man to swing said axe. R.I.P. Chris Thacker. On a brighter note, as this is the shit league, there's always a regen right around the corner. Chris Thacker 2, welcome to the league. And we are going to start with Chris Thacker's match tonight alongside Ebbs, who I believe mentioned earlier that he wasn't going to be in the stream today. I believe. I'm just going to double check that because I don't want to bugger off and leave him hanging if he is going to be available. To be honest, I'll witter on until somebody says they're here anyway, just in case. Here we go. Just let everybody know that we are live. All the fun stuff, as always. Get the admin out of the way. Lovely admin. Lovely admin. Excellent, there we go. First little message there from the mega horse to the small horse to let us know he would potentially be in at some point. Lovely. Gentleman as always. Gotta work out how to fucking copy this YouTube link. Exceptionally well prepared as always. Jesus wept. I'd say talk amongst yourselves, but there we go. From the window to the wall. To the wall. Should be Fifey. Good effort. Fifey's here to score 4. Excellent. We love this. Little roll call before we start. Excellent. Lovely. Oh, look, there we go. Live as well. Oh, God. No sound at the moment, but here. So you've got no sound, or I'm not showing any sound. It rhymes if you try hard enough. Right, where is the copy link? No subtitles available. Oh, don't want any subtitles. Fucking, this is so much effort. Create a clip. I'm gonna create a clip. Oh, this is so much effort. What your channel? How do you make this look fucking easy, Fifey? Every week. Right. Channels. Share. Copy link. That'll do. Fucking hell. Game week 12, I believe. There we go. Took right a lot of effort. Big dick energy and charisma. Well, as I've said to you before, Mr. Fife, you are what you eat. and you eat a lot of charisma and Joan chocolate. Perfect time. There we go. Yeah. And as is becoming customary to start a stream, cheeky little tipple. But we shall start with a little recap of what went last week. The headline is obviously the Funky Unicorns did themselves proud and actually won against the Inform team. Thacker, as his last act as Gunners manager, pitifully lost at home. The Knights lost ground against the Shamrocks. Good point for minimal interest against top of the league SAC. Really absolutely dominated Fifey's co-Roma. Destroyed them, bent them over and inserted themselves like Stefan Posma's wife. Destroyed. And bottom of the league for most of the season. Shipman Superstars, while on screen, on comms, snuck a point against the early frontrunners in a very, very much turned around fortunes there. As well as the early, last gasp, last minute equaliser for Jamal Tahar and Eb Fats. As the suffixes came up against Flamingos. This is as it stands tonight. As we start, fucking hell, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Stephen Five is balls deep in Champman this weekend. I shall be there with you on Saturday morning, Fifey. I'm sure me and my little lad will be enjoying your dulcet tones. To be honest, anything not to have to watch Encanto for a 57th time. Enjoy that. But yeah, this is how we go tonight. We will start, as I said, with Chris Thacker's regen against the Eb Fats. I'll be well and truly out of bed at that time, mate. Thank you. I'm fucking knackered, thanks to fucking Tato and his fucking challenge. No centre back, no striker challenge. That completely gave me, well, just one more game itis last night. And I had one game left to play, and my missus brought the baby down and said, "Your clicking's too loud, you've woken him up, feed him and put him to bed." Fuming. Absolutely fuming. But we got him down, we fed him, put him down, and it's all good. It's all good. Until it slowly dawned on me that the 18 and a bit million pounds that I'd spent on players didn't include any signing on fees. So when I gave in my manager stats, Tato found his loophole again, much like Stefan Posma's wife, found his loophole and found a way for the Smutsmeister General to not win his ecking little challenge. So I spent most of the day as Las Palmas trying to atone atone for my sins. Never get invited to play these anymore. Well, you're in Stemp, and you're in this. So 2 out of the 3, probably 4 if you count the Invitational Cup that I know I follow on Twitter, but I don't know anybody that's in it. So yeah, at least 50% of all of the active Champ Manager community leagues, I would suggest you're in 5e, and you run one of the other ones. So, but yes, yeah, I will. I believe if Steve is unable to do so, got a space to fill, tried everyone else interested. Yeah, you've got a pulse, you'll fucking do. No, you dickhead, you were, I think you were either the first or certainly in the first 3 or 4 people to be asked to be a part of this league, very much because, as you say, you run the Super League, but don't actually get to play it very often. So there you go. Fuck it, I'm wittering away. Let's crack on. Let's get some games going. As I believe Thacker thought that his sacking was permanent, didn't put a team in this week. So I've kept as it were. Any dangerous amount of action, please, 5 feet. As you well know, me and my missus have been diligently working around the clock to get you some action. So yes, I'm going to play some games, and the action will come. Don't you worry. So yeah, I've picked as many Arsenal players as possible. Squeezed Donati in there as well, as Arshavin and Vivas are both fucking knackered. Sorry, Aliad, yeah, not Arshavin. So left them both out and then just picked the best players possible who were left. So we'll see how we go. 4 at the back against, I believe 4 at the back. Not 4 at the back this week. Ebbs picked the wonky Don formation, effectively just to fit in his best players in the positions they play. Best players in terms of form. I mean, so be interesting to see this big space down the right hand side here, if that has any effect on the proceedings. Let's crack into action. See how we go. Will the Gunners have that new manager bounce that Chris Thacker's regen will give them? Will Donati being back in the team, who is on the ball there, I was going to say, will that have any effect on the outcome of the game? And the early goal comes in from Ebbs, who are, it has to be said, on the face of the stats in front of me, well worth the lead. And as Fifey says, ha 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 ha. Yeah, well deserved lead going into that there. I don't think there's going to be anything needed there. I know he's not too fussed about condition. They're all okay there anyway. And yeah, I think we're all okay there as well. Evening. Good to have you, Asna, mate. Lovely. It's baby day on Love Island. Ugh. As if the squawking of the contestants isn't bad enough. Oof, there we go. Let's have a look. I mean, the obvious change there would be one of the defenders, Teal, being the slightly less fit of the two. Fucking terrible. So I think that's probably the obvious switch there. I don't think there's much else needed, as it's going well for them. Still very dominant, the home side. Not a great return to the side for Massimo Donati. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Inamoto on for Merson, because he was knackered at half time. Yeah, he's still fairly tired. And hopefully give them a little bit more. In fact, let's get Diamond. Give a bit more of a chance there, like that. No, actually, I'm not going to do that, because I said I wouldn't mess about with people's formations. But I will bring Merson off for Inamoto. And he won't like me for doing that. We'll take off Van Persie as well, see if it... Bit of striking action as well. See if that changes any of the fortunes. But it's still all very, very much black and gold, like Sam Sparrow for the home side. Seeing a lot of action. But wow, tactical masterstroke. Oh, it's good. Billy McKinley. Wow. Not the goal scoring winner you expect for two defensive midfielders, but I thought for a split second then, bringing on Jose Antonio Guerre. Wow. 2-2 for Billy Mac. Well spotted. I didn't even know that was what happened. Yeah, very, very good performance again from Billy Mac. And I think there might be another asymmetric king in the house with that result. I mean, you are playing against bottom of the league, so that's the time to try those formations. Donati didn't have the desired effect. The substitutions definitely did. Brought them back into the game. Looked far less one-sided eventually. In terms of on target at the very least, but yeah, you'd be happy with that sort of dominant performance and 3 points if you're Ebbs. Fantastic to see that Alexandra Pop has scored again for the German women, as I have her at 17-1 to be the top scorer of the tournament. Unfortunately, Beth Mead scored again last night, so fingers crossed she pops in another one, and I get plenty of money back. Two sides here that are going to be completely unchanged, were it not for Winston Bogart's orange injury. So whapping his wang out is Dr. Harold Shipman, the good doctor, against top of the table and entirely unchanged. And why would you change? Top of the table, Sackington Colliery. I believe that Steve may be watching on mute, so if he wants to do any changes at half time, hopefully he pops in. Fingers crossed. I'll drop him a quick message just to say he's good to go anyway. And this, if you're looking at the table, should be an absolute walkover for the Sack. But the Superstars are the in-form team, and if you are looking to play them, now's probably not the time in the season you want to be playing them. But Carlos Jacks settled some nerves and gets them ahead early doors. Only took 10 minutes absolutely nothing created for the superstars. That is not ideal. That's a wounder. Jeez, I can't do two things at once. Just messaging Steve there. Only the one shot on target, which is 50% of all of the shots in the first half, absolutely flew through that first half. Yeah, not a lot of action at all. Steve is going to be a couple of seconds, so I'll have a quick look at... perfect timing, Steve, mate. Look at that. I think the better's got to come off into... Got to be dragged at that sort of rating there. Shinji Ono can obviously play there, so I think that's the obvious switch there. So look, see if there's anything else obvious that needs changing. No, I don't think so. Yeah, he's on attacking, so hopefully he might create something in the second half. Fuck all happened really in that first half, Steve, apart from Carlos Jacks popping one in the back of the net. Yeah, terrible first half for everybody involved. Decent in terms of ratings. You can't really complain too much. Average of a 7 overall for everybody. 3 6s, 2 8s, round up, all good. I don't know if you're one of the ones that is too fussed about condition, but absolutely fine, everybody there. Can't wait to draft him and piss Scott off. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I wouldn't take him early. Romeo for George Quinteros. Getting a full 45 minutes for misfiring so far. Bernardo Ribeiro. Give Steve a little minute, see if there's anything else. We look fit as fuck. Do indeed, in fairness. That's the first team I've seen with full 90% and above percentage fitness after 45 minutes. Presumably that's Steve done, but I'll give him another... Yeah, to be honest, he's one of them players who I hadn't heard of before. I hadn't heard of before Scott drafted him or brought him into the Super League, as it were. And then I sort of had a look through, and he's been... He can... Perfect, mate. He can get very, very, very good, but you cannot turn your nose up at that. Now, 3 goals and 3 assists in 7 games, 8.5 rating. Cannot turn your nose up at that at all. We'll go to 60, as we will do for every game tonight, except one. And I think there's a particularly Scottish manager who knows which game that is. And there's a second for Joey Goodjohnson, just before the substitutions look to be coming through. Still, only that one. Only Agostinho, who's dropped under 90% fitness. That's unbelievable. Cannot complain. Everything is coming up Steve right at the minute. Very good. No, I don't know if I'd be the... I'm going to say, I'd be inclined just to let it roll there. Full fitness, all good. Again, there's not a lot really that can be changed here. Pretty much. Maybe, I tell you what, in the spirit of Dr. Shipman himself, did he have a... No, he didn't. A bit more creativity from Chevy, you'd assume. Yeah, maybe that for Methuselah. Except he's doing really well, so we're not going to do that. Wadu's having a shocker. Bogard's still injured, so we'll do that. No, because I said I wouldn't change any fucking tactics. Oh, Jesus, what? So we'll undo that one. Leave that one be, and hope for the best. Fuck it. Let's get this one. I think this one's done and dusted, in fairness. Still absolutely nothing at all from the away team. So Steer's been very good value, as we said as I said at the start of the game. On paper, this should have been an absolute walkover. In reality, 3 shots on target, 2 went in, but absolutely nothing created from the superstars at all. So good value for the win. Probably deserved on the face of it, but still not the worst performance from everyone. Carr done well, Methuselah done really well. Just lacking that creative spark going forward, which is unlike one of Rob's teams. Fair play. So will still be top at the end of the night. Stay right. Best of luck. Let's catch up with you. Yes, mate. I'll catch you soon enough. And after 5e presents Stemp on Saturday, let me know if you want me to do Tuesday next week. More than happy to do so, buddy. Love you a long time, mate. Good night. Straight into the next game. Easy peasy. We'll rattle through them tonight. And the first absolute tactics housery, copyright TM, that Peter Krause podcast. Absolute tactics housery from Matt Lucas, who has looked at the Dr. Prague lineup and said, tell you what, that tactics worked really well for the last couple of weeks until he came up against the Funky Unicorns last week. I'm stealing it and I'm going to play it against him. See if it works. I like it. Probably not in the spirit of the game, one would say. But you can see they're not changed tactical formation since game week 3. And even with the defeat last week, absolutely no changes at all. And I think that's probably not the worst idea at all from Stu. I think some managers in other leagues and when they're playing against other human managers have a tendency to make knee-jerk reactionary changes if a run comes to a bump. So I think this should still have enough, I think, to see out the victory against Really, who I don't believe are in great form. Yeah, right down the two wins on the bounce after 3 losses, so you'd say probably now's not the time. Perfect timing, Dan. You just missed Steve's victory over Harold Chipman. But yes, there will be some. I suppose it'd still be Stemp. What with them both having the same first name on Saturday. So is that Satemp on Saturday? As Mr. Fife is doing a nice Saturday morning kitchen version of Stemp this week. Also very aware that he hasn't asked me for input on tactics or lineup this week. Sure that's just an oversight from him and not because I've had next to fuck all input and it's going quite well for him. I think that's probably probably fair. Here we go. We'll kick in for 2 Stemp. You've got the save. 2 Stemp and Swemp managers historically, and there we go. I said I thought the Duckle Prague would have enough for this week, even playing against their own tactic. Another unlikely game. Has goalkeeper scored? Defender scored in every game so far. Fair play. Same again. No need for any changes, I think. Now, Matt normally has tactics switches ready to go, but this week he's told me that as he's at the cricket, I have full tactical control of any changes needed, and I'll be honest, they are certainly needed. I think that is going to be the obvious switch. Fivey, did you have one of the sours, apple sours or cherry sours or whatever it was, shots at my wedding? Because compared to them sour Skittles, they are far more sour. We changed. We'll go to man. We'll change that a little bit till 60. See if anything a bit more creative occurs. Goal disallowed there. That second defensive midfield position is just not working. You had apple juice to remain respectful. Good man. Fair play. But yeah, to be honest, they were very sour. Gavilan's one of the better players as well. He's just not getting a tune out of that second sort of defensive midfield spot. See if a third option can get anything out of that. I think Javan, he's run his race, and I reckon get David Dunn pushed further forward. Seb Barnes, that's not his position. I think it's probably a season too early for Seb Barnes. So I reckon that works best. In terms of changes, for Stu, I still don't think there's anything really needed, but Bertie would probably be the obvious change there, and Talon Martin, who has been a bit of a goal machine recently. Sorry, more difficult to say than I thought it'd be. Yeah, seems a bit goal shy this week. Obviously not in terms of footed. Cabello, right footed. Enter the Dragon, right only, leave it be. That is absolutely shocking fun. But yeah, so apparently Kasper Schmeichel on his way out of Leicester, on the proviso that we sign a replacement for him before he heads off to France, to Nice. Odd one for me, because we signed Danny Ward for £10 million specifically to take over from Kasper Schmeichel around about this sort of time. Never ever let anyone down as Danny Ward. Brilliant first choice goalkeeper for Wales. In all honesty, should be playing. Effectively all of the reports, Dan, say that Schmeichel won't leave until, and has that verbally been agreed, until we sign a replacement for him, which is Yeah, a bit of an odd one. Not something I'd ever seen before, but he's been a very, very long serving and obviously title winning member of the team. He's actually been here long enough for a testimonial. So to me, if he wants to go and play European football, fair play. Absolutely fair play. You go for it, mate. Goes with my blessing, not that fucking matters. Yeah, Bernd Leno is apparently the name thrown into the mix. Seems a fucking odd one, that does, to be honest. I don't really know what he would, why that'd be a better option than Danny Ward. Maybe if you get into an all-out competition, Leno and Ward, give them both an equal opportunity. Odd. As Dan said, we do have a Dane and a Polish sort of under 23 goalkeepers. Daniel Everson was on loan at Oldham, I believe, last season. Sorry, Preston. He was at Oldham the season before. Leno deal agree with Fulham. Fair enough. That's probably helpful for us, in all honesty, because I don't think his ridiculously high wages that he's been given at Arsenal, I don't think that's the type of player that I would like us to be targeting, but that does seem a very Fulham signing, if I'm honest. Yeah, Daniel Everson, fantastic season with Preston last year, by all accounts, and there's been some suggestion that we actually might try and cash in on him now while his stock is particularly high, and where he's probably not quite ready for the Prem. He's certainly too good to be at his age sat in the reserves. So he's too good for a third choice goalkeeper. If he was second choice after Casper goes, yeah, fair enough. You could probably see him sticking around, but he'll probably see another loan. And the fourth choice keeper we've got at the minute is a lad who is called Jacob Stolorsk. He's Polish goalkeeper, been on loan up in Scotland, and again, by all accounts, covered himself in glory, done really, really well. So again, we'll probably do. It's Steve Grizovic, yeah. Steve Grizovic regen, Jakub Stolorski, Stolorsk. I don't know. My Polish pronunciation is terrible. So yeah, by all accounts, would probably go out on loan again. And in fairness, our fucking fifth choice goalkeeper is the third choice American national team goalkeeper in Chinduru Udenze, who again heard good things about, supposedly decent, but he's just not going to get a look in at the minute. So yeah, if Casper goes, we're not particularly hard up for goalkeepers. Yeah, do you want to play your game, Tato? Absolutely fine. Yeah, we can do your game. Yeah, no worries. The other name I have seen floating around is Alban Lafont, which is a very Leicester signing, in fairness. I'd love that. From Rennes, I believe, in France, 23, has been the first choice over there in France for a number of years already. It's one of them names that you see floating about as a potential future wonder kid on Football Manager, on the newer versions, and always does very well on the updates here on champ as well. So I'd be more. Yes, we're on. Yeah, we'll crack you on, mate. No worries. Back to the asymmetric of old. Basically, Defoe's gone back up for him. A few personnel changes as well because of the African Cup of Nations and the suspension of Tommy Grondland. Here we go, and pretty much only a bit more attacking in terms of changes. No personnel changes, as they created a fuckload last time. Odd. Very odd. But yeah, fair play. All out action from Swanee. Love to see it. Not resting on the laurels, straight in. Again, the main man. And Shabani Nonda for the Congo. Ibrahim Said for Egypt. Both out of the AFCON. Dion Dublin. Oof, unbelievable. So, again, on paper, you're looking at this and going, oof. Couldn't be closer if it tried. The only difference between the two is 8 goals for and 1 against. Very close. So this should be a very, very good game. Looking forward to this one. See how we go. Been much movement at Everton, Tato, this season. I've not really seen many sign-ins. For Nathan Peterson, I saw coming in from Scotland, but I think that might have been at the tail end of last season, if I'm right in saying. That's another game with not much created in the first half there. Roy Carroll having a very good game. Very good day. Well, yeah, you must have signed somebody because Leicester are the only team in the top 5 divisions to have not signed anyone. Tarkowski for free you signed, didn't you? Which, to be honest, not too bad. McNeil's done, is it? Barkley on his way back, fair play. Vinagra's done, is it? Yeah, that is very much like Viagra, stiffened up the defence. There you go. I was hoping that Leicester are going for corner, to be fair. Gay coming back as well on loan. Fair enough. Not done anything at all really at PSG, has he? It's just not really getting looking, so. Yeah. You'd hope that all of those would certainly make a bit of a dent and not have the same issues you had last year. You'd hope. In terms of changes there, I don't think there's much needed for Swanee. We'll have a look at Puyol maybe at 60 minutes. But here comes the inevitable Tato Mourinho Tinkerman action. Interesting that 2 of the Tato cornerstones, if you like, in Riyadh and Ficini, both on 60s. Both on 6s, not playing particularly well. So, I doubt that will mean they're coming off. Okay, to there, that'll do. Red, yeah, no problem at all. So, Estefania for Gator. Yeah, no problem, mate. I worked that out. Lovely. That'll do till 60. See if we can get anyone to break that deadlock. Penalty. given. Rayad scored. Oof. And there we go. Interesting. Stuff is happened. Lovely. It's not a lot there. I think maybe Dabazas needs resting. I think he was the one who gave the penalty away, to be honest. I tell you what, we'll do both of the yellow cards. See if for the second week in a row, hitting Les gives Swanee the best result possible. Certainly was Rayad with the penalty. And Konopka really not pulling up many trees there. There's not really any options on the bench there. Davidoff would be the only sort of attacking option available. Ficini on the 6, so that would be, for anybody else, the obvious substitution. Rayad, even with the goal, has still done fuck all. Over to you, Tinker Man. Have a quick check how the women's football's getting on. Hopefully Pop has scored a second. It is 2-1 to Germany. And it is Pop with a second. Sexual chocolate. Right, Ficini off, Davidov. Yeah. Cool Waters on. Knopfer off of Rede. Why not, eh? Yeah, fuck it. YOLO. Why not? 2 centre-backs playing in defensive midfield. See how we go. Fair play. And looks to me on paper, it's certainly a lot more blue appearing there, he says, as it all goes red. Defoe catching Klompe there. Here we go. This could be the last chance. No, nothing doing. Speculative effort. No, all done. Very good 3 points away from home against the team closest to them in 6th there for Tato and minimal interest. Does put them well within a shout. 7 yellows, yeah, that is a fucking filthy half. Rayad scored. I don't think I've ever seen that. Scored and only got a 5 out of 10. Was the worst player on the pitch and the only goal scorer. Wow. That's I've never seen that before. That's class. Love that. Right, as always, Tato, you with your fucking loving stats. 2 shots both on target. I don't really know. Apart from losing both his headers. He won 1 key tackle out of 2. That's a good point. Let's have a look, see what the penalty was for. Dubious decision. Oof. I think VAR pulls that one back. Absolutely been done there. Unlucky, Swanee. The referee, and we'll take his name down. He's on the list. Mark Hester, fucking jester, has had a shocker. What a clown. But yeah, well played, Tato. You've got away with that one there. Aston, I'm not sure if Aston's still here, but I was going to play that one earlier. 0 changes for the big man this week, and why would you? Makes sense. Fair play. Excellent. That saves me trying to find someone on Pornhub tonight, Tato. I can pleasure myself to your oral insights. Lovely. Oral, A-U-R-A-L, I would say. Lots of changes for the Fabulous Flamingos. No Joey Dunn. So, the youngsters, Shane Tolley, Bruno, first games of the season. It's very much been a case for the Fabulous Flamingos that they don't talk about Bruno. Orlandini come back into the side as well, putting Paul Eiffel on the bench, and no place for Agahara at all. So let's see if that... Wow, that's not the start you want 5 minutes in, especially with no defenders at all on the bench. Wow. Well, you're going to have to go with Stephen Reid at centre-back, because he can just about play there. And you're going to have to go with Mark Kerr in defensive midfield. What? I cannot be trusted for stuff. Not seeing Legends tonight, so I think that's probably going to be the closest to making sense. You're going to have to go with. 5 minutes in, first injury, that's not ideal at all. This would be a very good opportunity. And as I was saying that, for the Shamrock Massive, for the Irish men to creep up that league a little bit and start looking towards a potential late playoff run, with 7 games of the season left to play. Definitely starting to look up rather than down. Is where you want to be in that position. Be daft to change anything at all unless somebody is looking injured. Steve Finn is the only one sort of struggling a bit, but there's no obvious replacement there, so I think you leave that be. That's for the Flamingos. Was given. That's full time as well. Germany through to play England in the final. So there we are. England-Germany in a final. Anyone know if that's ever happened before? Let's have a look at the instructions given. Around 60, so nothing. There we go. Let's pray for a Kazakhstani linesman. Or a Russian linesman. Probably not going to be a Russian linesman this time. If anybody in the audience of all three of you is going to know the answer to this question, was that quote unquote Russian linesman Dan Kazakhstani? Have I got that in my head, or what would now be Kazakhstan and was probably Russia at the time in 1966? I don't know if I've made that up or not. Kazakhstan, there we go. Lovely. A second for the Shamrocks, just as the. I tell you what, I've been channeling the spirit. Azerbaijani. There we go. I knew somebody would know, and I'll be honest. As soon as Fifey confirmed it, I thought I'd better wait for Dan. Their stadium is named after him. Wow. And that is the kind of tidbits of information. And what year did he die? That's the most important thing we need to know from you, Dan. He's obviously dead, because you can't go 5 minutes without telling me someone's dead. big changes needed for... He died in 1965. Fair play. Right, I've just realised what he actually wanted in terms of his substitutions is that and no, hang on. That and it was going to be Mark Kerr into attacking midfield, but what we'll do instead is we'll go Gonzo. I think he'll appreciate that. Gonzo for Bruno, because I think this game has gone away from him. And around 60, Whack the Subkeeper and Mark Kerr, both AMC. It's not gone well, I'll be honest. That's the joke, Fifey, mate. That was the joke he was making. Not the best performance for the Flamingos. Absolute barnstormer from the Shamrocks. And I think that's probably now... I know we're still 7 games out. I think that is the Flamingos title challenge. Probably down in flames. Unlucky. Unfortunate. I think that probably gives a 3 small horse race for the title there between Dukla Prague, Castor Troy and Sackington Colliery. And the battle of the Devils, former Devils managers, the penultimate game of the night, as we all look towards the playoffs. We keep the 3 playoff hungry teams, the 3 teams closest to playoff potential, to last, with obviously Castor Troy looking up as well. We'll see where that leads. Died in 1993 due to being dead. Fair play. That is one of the main causes of death, is death. Now, Fifey's tactic for the last 2 weeks that he sprung last minute against me 2 weeks ago was mental, and I think this one could be another mental but clever formation. Those arrows do make things interesting. 3 attacking midfielders, 3 up front. Tommy Gravison going into the middle there. That is clever. See if it works. The Jimmy White of the Super League, no changes whatsoever, apart from Saranpar comes in for the internationally bound for the CM01. Conti. So big implications for the playoffs in this game. Fifey is obviously in the chat. What Fifey will call positive attacking football versus anti-football. And it's anti-football 1, attacking football 0 after 35 minutes. And that's number 2. How's your new tactic doing, Fifey? Creating nothing, conceding twice. Give up. Will we see at half time the return of the fuck anti-football 10 men behind the ball from now on? I can do that if you want me to. Game's a joke. It's I'll be honest, Pfeiffer, that one might be on me. That might be one of the old commentator's curse jobbies, because I looked at that tactic and I thought, ooh, that's quite clever. I probably shouldn't have voiced it for you. I mean, that's probably what's gone against you there. Sorry. So while you're thinking about your defensive changes, let's have a quick look at the Knights, see if there's anything they want to do. Oh, you can be ready for them. Excellent. Right, so Miller for Dalmats. Go. And push both wingers forward. No problem. Still looking in terms of arrows. Why can't I go in the middle? Is there no option? No, can't go in the middle there, apparently. Either there. Diagonal on, please. Okay, it can only go into exactly where the strikers are, apparently. Is there anyone on me? There we go. Perfect, lovely. No worries, we'll go to 60. See if that can be the impetus to get, and in fairness, looking on top of things to the co-robot. Swarming like a virus. Oh fuck, I missed that one. I was too invested in the action there. Really only very, very average up front. Only really at the back, the CCS side, but as is, no problem. Just get this one done and dusted. I think see Roberto can have a rest for Rusev. That's probably what we need, isn't it? Crack on from there. Battering them. I mean, yeah, the second half certainly you have been the only team I've seen. But yeah, very defensively brilliant. Keep up, excellent. Cannot complain if you're the Nickery Knights manager there. Something dreamt up, I think, between Hodgie and Ken Moncow over a few pints to battle the attacking football of the Roma virus. Wasn't to be this week, fuck anti-football. And this is how we line up for Castor Troy. Only some arrow changes, some personnel switches this week. I will cards on the table for rocks. Oh, comments not coming through on YouTube. Oh, okay. That is an odd one. Means I'll fuck some up somehow. Live chat. Yeah, does say needs width when attacking on YouTube, but not coming through on Restream. See if that comes through. Yeah, there you go, come through for me. Not sure why that one done. But, there we go. So I have gone the Hadrian's Wall, an attacking Hadrian's Wall, I may add, because I have tried to test this one out a couple of times, and in all honesty, I've done nothing. It's really not. It's really not been possible to get anything in terms of a result against Castor Troy. So I'm expecting an absolute mauling here to finish the night off, which will inevitably see Castor Troy back to the top of the league. Is that Chewy? Was that Chewy with a penalty? Why is Ferrari taking the penalty? Fuck's sake. Sure, I changed that earlier as well. Fucking ridiculous, the centre back taking penalties. I've lost all. I don't know what's happened there, but I've got an absolute. Must be something to do with the engine. Fuck knows. Absolute posmering on that side. And I can only say, yeah, it's a bit of a champion from the Unicorns. Another game with cards aplenty as well. That was a Ferrari. I completely missed at Ferrari. That's good. I like that one. It's too fast for me, that Ferrari joke. I like that one. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bit of an attacking change here. I don't think it's going to do anything. But that'll do for me. Castor Troy. I haven't seen rocks tonight. I mean, Charlie Chaos is a red card waiting to happen. Hopefully. But I don't think he'd change anything if I'm rocks. Let's have a look. He's not giving me any instructions either. I tell you what, Dan, while you're there, I'll give you the keys to the kingdom, because I don't like to make substitutions on behalf of my opponent. So would you? There you go. It's the second team of the night with over 90% for every single player in the 11. I'm inclined to just crack on, unless anybody mentions anything in the next sort of 10 seconds or so. I think I'm inclined to just crack on for him, see it out, hope for the best. I can't say I've used any of the outfield subs before. Fair enough. Jimenez would be the one who is doing the bet. I think I'll crack on till 60, see if anything changes. Well, there is one thing that changes. Fuck. Oh, that won't count. Good. Right. Hadrian's Wall is not working. Diego Forlan's having a shocker. I'm gonna go with my previous formation. There we go. Sort it out, Ismots. This is embarrassing. Yeah, it's not going well. I'm just going to that one. Okay, so Forlan for Bobic. He has been threatened. He's had one game done really well, in fairness, and he's been really unlucky not to have played a game so far. Nobody particularly knackered. fuck it. And while you're in this, yeah, you can't really change anything there. I'll leave it be. Hope for the best for both sides. I hope Freddie Bobic is the saviour. I mean, slightly more purple, but no. As I said, in testing, I've got nowhere near that. That's pretty much been about the average output. That's the best I could probably hope for, in fairness. As it is, as it stands, that loss has dropped me down a position. Still in with a shout at playoffs, 7 games to go, in and around. Sam Fields, Knights obviously jumped over a couple of places there with that win against Co-Roma. Shamrock looking very dangerous coming from the rear. But yeah, Sack and Castle Detroit still mano a mano at the top of that league there. Doing very, very well. And they're the two to watch out for so far, as they have been for most of the season so far. In terms of stats, Sackington Colliery go back to the top of the form book. Castle Detroit very much in and around there. And as we said, Shamrock doing brilliantly the last sort of 6 weeks or so. That is grim reading. Really grim reading. The one win in the last 5 games. I didn't pick the team, so I may have to have a look at that as an option. Willie Samuel's still doing really well. Really well. Yeah, no problem at all, mate. Don't you worry about that. Romeo still fucking miles out in front in terms of the goal scoring charts, even after slowing down somewhat recently. And just far closer assists chart there. Rayad doing really well there, Tato. The Dragon is very much entering the battle there. And yeah, still not seeing any unicorns anywhere. Yeah, so as requested, we will have a look at next week's double game week fixtures. Valentine's Day special sees Flamingos go up against Gunners first off. Myself against Steve, lovely. That's probably the standout of the game as well, myself against Steve. And then Duckler against the Knights as well, very good looking game. Following week 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 we all play, so 2 games for everybody next week, as I will have plenty of time, and then I'm hoping to potentially get another double game week in during next week as well, which will put us only 1, 2, 3 game weeks out from finishing. So we could, in theory, be finished around about the same sort of time as the Super League. Oh, it's almost as if I planned it. I didn't. Not going to pretend that I didn't. So yeah, plenty of games available next week. Certainly there will be plenty of games going on next week, Tato. So if everybody can have contingency plans and whatever available, you want to send through. If you're about, I'll start earlier as well next week. So it might be that I'm doing Stemp on Tuesday next week, so I'll do Wednesday as normal, and we'll start probably at 8 next week, so I'll do maybe even a bit earlier, maybe half 7. I'll work it out, and I'll put it out and about, but it will be an early start next week, double game week, rifle through it. We'll see when my co-host is available, which will be Mr. Stu in 3rd position there. Will be joining me on co-coms next week, which will be fantastic. Always good value with Stu. I'll be away next week, so mate, we'll miss it all. Yeah, you did mention that you were out and about next week on holiday, you lucky man. I'll get the save up tonight so that everybody can rifle through it and have a look what you want in terms of picking teams and what have you. In fact, while I'm still whittering away, I'll protest, not good. I'll keep clicking through, see where if we can get to. The 15th was the next game, wasn't it? So 15th, yeah. Even still in the playoffs, they're unhappy at that defeat. Surprised I'm not being. Hey, we've got another sack in live on. Oh dear. Bless Mr. Harold Shipman. You have been sacked. So live on screen, you'll be retiring from football. Fare thee well, the good doctor. And another regen. It's as simple as that. Back in action. Oh, that is not going to be good for me next week. And die, come back quick, please. Joey Dunn looks like he could be fit, raring to go in 5 days' time. Fingers crossed for the Flamingos. I will click through. Everybody's looking for Titus Bramble. I will start drip feed. No, you can't have an out of league signing. There's only 5, 6, 7 game weeks left. There's no point. I will start announcing the plan in terms of next season soon enough. There will be a next season. Every manager who is in is obviously invited back again next season. I've been enjoying this, to be honest. I like the routine of having something to do on a Wednesday night, playing the game, which I'd be doing anyway. I'll be honest, it means I get some peace and quiet from the missus. Married life. So I'm more than happy to continue into next season. There'll be plenty of transfers available between teams, out of leagues available too. We will be trimming down the squads most likely for some of the teams for next season, and each manager will be having an individually tailored pre-season schedule built around transfers available, and that will be a question for every single manager that I will be going through. And as I said, that will be individually tailored to your team. So that'd be interesting to see how everybody plays their potential transfer options. How many teams get to play wanky in a friendly? Well, as is the case in the Super League, that obviously runs the same league structure. Can't remember even offering a new contract. Why has he got a new contract? He must have been offered one. Who knows? Sorry. So everybody who isn't in the playoffs will get the option to play in a friendly. And I promise, if I am not in the playoffs, Dan, that I will organise a friendly against Wanky. Alright. And you can be in charge of the Funky Unicorns against Wanky. There you go. Right, well that is straight through. Plenty of unavailable players. In fact, let's have a quick run through the squads ready for next week. No issues whatsoever for the informed team. David Prutton out. Joey Dunn not quite back. Probably will get a run out in all honesty. Everybody fine at the Gunners. Superstars will need a very big overhaul there. We shall see. Ebbs, Bruce out. Otherwise, good as gold. All okay at Fifey's co-roamer. Fucked. Absolute shambles. My neck of the woods. All good to go again at Duckler. Knights are absolutely fine. Suspension, shock horror for Charlie Chaos. That will mean some changes. Ultimately, in fact, I can probably guess what he's going to do there, so I'll save that straight away. Defensive midfield there for Castor Troy. Still no Saeed back. Otherwise, all good in Wales. Litos suspended there, as we saw earlier. So that's a loss there. Tato, if you are still there. But I think you've gone. The main man. The K main man. The main K man. Dave Barnett. Oof, unavailable. Still. Internationals. Unavailable. And really, who are alongside myself, mired in inconsistency. All available in terms of condition. And that's it for me. Absolutely smashed through plenty of games there, and there'll be lots more to come next week. Keep an eye on the Twitter account, as I will be sporadic and all over the shop as always, but plenty of games available next week. I hope everyone's enjoyed that as always. Good night from me, and also good night from me. Toodles.